Good morning, everybody. My name is Ivan Rodrigues, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to track 2, the CXO's boardroom, as part of the second edition of the Economic Times Digital Banking Summit. The boardroom will witness discussions with CXOs from some of the top financial institutions of the country, and this discussion will revolve around the agenda of digital leadership plans, innovation, and future-proofing business. CEOs and CXOs from public, private, commercial, NBFC, NEO, and other banks will focus on the changing landscape of the banking and financial services ecosystem. Digital transformation is a buzzword one often hears in the banking technology ecosystem. The conversations, deliberations, and dialogues over the next 2.5 hours will focus on the real-time strategies leaders incorporate towards building a truly digital financial ecosystem and how to navigate the common challenges. Some of the discussion points include strategies for innovative digital transformation for the future of banking, identifying the top 3 essential components for successful digital transformation, and evolution of embracing digital transformation and making sense of the disruption. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our partners for this summit. Presenting partner, Kyndryl, co-powered by partners in the space, Exotel and Dell Technologies. Cloud partner, Amazon Internet Services. Platinum partners, NetApp, Reddington, and Databricks. Gold partners, Snowflake, Madhyam, powered by Biz2XR, Resultix, NewGen Software, and Tech Data. Associate partners, Talisma and SUSE. Supporting association, Finance Industry Development Council. Media partner, CIO Review India. Knowledge partner, ET Insights, and this is brought to you by ET Unwired. Friends, during the course of the next 2.5 hours, do tweet and join the conversation on Twitter, LinkedIn, and other social media platforms using the hashtag ET Digital Banking. I repeat, hashtag ET Digital Banking. Let's get it trending. Well, we have 5 interesting sessions for you over the next 2.5 hours. 3 well-known and highly respected stalwarts from the banking and financial services sector will share their views and perspective on the digitalization journey, scaling innovation to build a truly digital bank. In addition, we have 2 bright minds who will share insights on how one can revolutionize the wealth management ecosystem in a fireside chat. And then we have a power-packed panel discussion featuring distinguished technical leaders from the sector who will share their insights on how one can empower financial institutions to compete in the data-centered world. Well, what more can one ask for? So do stay tuned in, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back shortly with the first session of the CXO's boardroom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we move on to the first session titled The Digitalization Journey, Scaling Innovation to Build a Truly Digital Bank. And it's an absolute honor and privilege to welcome Mohua Sengupta, Managing Director, Mashreq, Bangalore, Egypt, Pakistan, GICs, who will be in conversation with Sanjay Doshi, partner and head Financial Services Advisory, KPMG. Sanjay, over to you.
Thanks, Aaron, and very good morning, Mohua.
Good morning. Good morning to everybody.
So, Mohua, I think the last 2 years have been very defining, right? Means I know we had internet banking, online banking, the entire cash to digital payments economy was pushed by demonetization, and then of course COVID brought a completely different angle of digitalization, everything. Whether you do banking, lending, insurance, distribution. So the entire financial ecosystem is going through a significant transformation as we see, especially post-COVID. So what are your thoughts in terms of how the future of this entire finance ecosystem is going to really get into, and what are the different strategies which you envision in terms of innovative digital transformation for the future of finance ecosystem?
Okay. So see, digitalization has been a buzzword for almost a decade now, but we have seen true digitalization after really COVID hit us. Yes, demonetization did bring a bit of it, but the biggest push, I think, came from COVID. And as many companies are saying, that the joke is that digitalization is the biggest. I mean, COVID has been the chief digital officer in many companies. So it is very true. And one thing we have seen that what COVID has done it has created a digital divide. So there were companies who had already started taking their steps, who have definitely had a lead, whereas companies who were not there still deciding whether or not to. I think that it has really created a digital divide. Now, what it has done is it has brought the customer, has always been at the center, but it has really brought the customer to the center, because customers now decide what they want. And it is not just for COVID, multiple things. See, technology evolution has also created it. We have got everything in our fingertips. So our demand has increased as a customer from everywhere, not just banking, but it is true for banking too. Before we were very used to, we were glad when very happy, ecstatic when we started getting our ATMs, or then after that, the internet banking. But today's kids want Facebook banking. They are on Facebook, they want it there. So they want everything. It's an instant gratification time. So banks have really focused on customer. In Mashreq, I know that customer centricity is at our core. Anything we do, any strategy, the first question we ask is it something, any project, is it actually doing something for our customer centricity? So that, I think, is the biggest driving force for any digital transformation. And it's not just Mashreq, I'm sure it's true for everybody. So keeping that in mind is mostly massaging everything, whatever you have, your technology stack, it could be your business processes, it could be how you structure your customer connect platforms, be it bank, be it some other platform. Everything is, all decisions are coming across, being built across customers. That, I think, is the biggest drive for the digitalization.
Absolutely. I think customer experience, and not only in banking. I've seen this entire transformation happening in insurance, in wealth distribution. You can see the kind of new platforms coming in on the wealth tech side. New banking is one big element.
Oh, right? Yes. Yeah.
And everyone is really focusing on either customer experience or having a customer acquisition around those areas. So one is definitely customer, and that is one component. But are there any critical components, if you have to name three more of them,
absolutely,
which is essential for a successful transformation?
Again, see, open banking. We've been talking about open banking for a while now, but we have seen true open banking only now, because again, everything comes from what the customer wants. So today, before we used to all keep our systems bank, and I've been in the banking industry forever. So we used to keep all our core things very close to our chest, playing our cards keeping them very close to our chest, because those were our key differentiators, our USPs. But it has completely changed over the years. Today, if you don't open it up, if you don't have your platforms with open APIs where you can connect it with everybody, you will lose out on the game. Soon you will become extinct. So the more protective you are, chances of you losing out in the long run is very high. So open APIs have become a big thing. So gone are the days of large core banking platforms where you're doing one platform does everything. It's a master store of data. It's a master of everything. That's gone. Today, it's all microservices connecting with everybody in the ecosystem, so that you're basically trying to touch as many customers as possible through as many different channels. So keeping your APIs open and smart APIs, basically something that can connect with, the more friendly your APIs are, the more effective your banking will be or your platform will be. And the other thing is, see, typically banks were very protective about their products. Okay, this is my product. These are my core things. Today, everybody is offering everybody's product. So in Mashreq, for example, for 2023, our goal is to be the main customer experience, the big customer experience, superior customer experience bank. So for that, in 2022, there are two things that we are focusing on. We are calling it digital outside in and digital inside out. They're nothing but outside in is in our platform. We are going to offer everyone else's product. So our customers from our platform can get every bank's product. Similarly, inside out is we offer our products through other banks' platforms. So it's basically, we are no longer competing with products. We are competing with better customer service. So that's the change that has happened. That from moving from our core competency being our products to our core competency or USP being our services, the quality of service that we offer to the customer. I think that's a big mindset shift for banks that has happened. And it has definitely gotten a big boost from this COVID. No doubt about that.
Absolutely. I think COVID, like D1, was a transformation for cash to digital money. Similarly, COVID is to entire digitalization.
Absolutely.
Coming back, to your points on open banking, and of course, this account aggregator and regulatory measures which are coming in is really going to be an add-on to it. Yeah. Are there any other relevant measures you're really looking at? I think video KYC has happened. A lot of digital customer journeys still need to be assisted because let's say the agreements, for example, in a housing loan journey, you still need to have those physical sign-offs yet to happen on some documentation. Are there areas where you think still there is a way to go in terms of changes to come in?
Oh, yes. See, there are plenty. And see, there are many places where I think a lot of, I'm not saying that it's not happening, but I think it still needs to happen at a much larger pace, much faster pace. Say, for example, very simple, you talked about KYC. To me, KYC is a perfect example of using blockchain to bring everybody to use the same KYC data set. Why do we have to give our data to 95 different banks or 95 different organizations if we need their services? It is nothing special. I'm giving the same data to everybody. Instead of everyone having to collect the data, if we can build a blockchain-based network, and it is there, a lot of banks have done the POCs.
That's right.
But then we have not been, it is because of lack of regulatory structure or guidelines, it has not become pervasive yet. But these POCs have happened for the last 10 years. So that's one place that I think, that is one of the places. I think regulators need to move a bit faster. I understand that it's a bit of a challenge for the last 2 years, and they have have taken quite a few fast steps, but I think there's still a lot that needs to be done in order for us to fully utilize this digital transformation, the potential that is there. Because see, most of us, I can't recall when I last used cash. Paytm, Google Pay has become everywhere we go. And not even cards. We don't use cards anymore, right? In India, at least. I know that in UAE, when I travel, cards are still very popular, quite popular. But digital money has taken over completely in India. So there is still, I think there is, from a regulatory perspective, we still have a few steps to take. And that is going to make this whole TAT for servicing our customers, etc., much faster. So there are multiple such areas. It's not just a KYC, as you said, contract signing. I mean, smart contracts should just take over in most places. Even in insurance industry, you have that wet signature needed. So why do we still need a wet signature? If digital signature is doing everything, why does an insurance contract need a wet signature? I mean, I still don't understand. So there are plenty of such spaces. I think people have identified those spaces. It's just a matter of regulators taking that one or two bold steps to make it happen. Otherwise, it will always remain in the fringe. I mean, blockchain, I mean, it's my area of interest from a technology perspective. We've been talking about the same thing for 10 years. Everybody has done every single POCs under the sun, but it's still in the fringe. It still has not taken over. Mashreq as a bank, we have done some work in with DIFC in the blockchain area. But again, there is a lot more that can be done. And blockchain definitely, and blockchain is going to really, I would say, transform the financial services industry and even other industries. I'm just talking about financial services because I know it the best. But we really need the regulators to step forward a little bit more in order to make it happen. Because see, many technologies have a first mover's advantage. But things like blockchain doesn't, because unless everybody comes onto it, and everybody will come onto it only when there is a regulator guideline, guidance, etc. So I think banks really need, our financial services industry really needs the regulators to step forward a little bit more.
Absolutely. I think we've covered all, but one critical component is the workforce. What are your thoughts? Our workforce, the employees and the workforce, are they adapting to this entire transformation?
See, I think the workforce in India has been, and let me talk about India first, and maybe we can go to the rest of the world later, has been adapting for quite a few decades now. I mean, at least 2 decades, if not more, people have adapted. I mean, I don't know about you. For me, I'm a finance economics graduate, never written a line of code, never went to the engineering school, never planned to go to the engineering school. Landed up in IT, I would say purely by accident of the time, but then we adapted and you kind of sucked into it. And I have met so many people of my generation 20 years back who have taken that course. And that I would say is adaptation. So I think the adaptation of the workforce started quite a few years back, and people have been adapting. To the extent, see, many people who have worked on, say, mainframe systems some 15, 20 years back, they are now working on various emerging technologies. And when you talk about emerging technology today, something that is emerging tomorrow, it's passe. Something else has come in. So I think they're doing, and people have understood. First of all, people have become a lot more ambitious. Today's employees are a lot more ambitious. So they know that they need to stay abreast of the new technologies, new ways of working, etc. So they are adapting. Can that be more? See, as an individual effort, from an individual effort perspective, I think people are doing fine. Those who want to do fine, they are doing fine. I still believe that our academic system or the education system can adapt a little bit more in order to fit better with what is needed at work. It's still more, I would say, more academic rather than application. But that also, I think there are many institutions which have come up to do that bridge, bring in that bridge, take with the last semester of students and make them more work ready and position them in different organizations. So it's happening. Adaptation is happening. Of course, the pace is increasing every year, I think. And the kids today are so much more aware. They know exactly what they want to do. So I feel that the smartness quotient and the adaptation quotient is only going up. I don't know how much more can it go.
That's right. I think great, Mohua. I think great thoughts. And thank you for sharing your thoughts. I think key is adaptability to tech. Regulatory, yeah, I think we are ahead of the world, or probably in line with the rest part of the world. But
Absolutely.
a few more regulatory measures, and we can definitely still have a lot of growth over here. But thank you for your thoughts, and I went back to you.
Thanks, Sanjay. Yeah, that was fantastic. What a wonderful way to start off uh, track two. Great insights on the digitalization journey, scaling innovation to build a truly digital bank from Mohua Sengupta, Managing Director, Mashreq, Bangalore, Egypt, Pakistan, GICs. Thank you so much, Mohua, for taking time off from your busy schedule and joining us today at this summit. We wish you and Mashreq the very best going forward. And Sanjay, thank you for doing a fantastic job of moderating this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you.
do stay tuned in. We will be back on the other side in a short while with the next session.